By the way, Shelton's sneezes are the absolute cutest things in the world. Baby cutes.
And his little arms fly up.
Yeah, like a toy.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Those cats that do this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No more crying.
Oh. I was like, what are you doing?
It's like a piece. It's like a piece of your heart. It's like out there.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm going to be such a wreck when he's like driving.
Oh, boy.
And like doing stuff by himself.
Yeah.
God, I'm going to need you to really like work on me over these next 18 years.
Let's get ready to rumble. How's that for an opening?
Good night.
Are you ready for this?
Ready for this?
Oh,
Banana.
Good night, you said?
Mm-hmm. I'm already exhausted.
Yeah. And that's all for the show. So thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. If you haven't already, share this with somebody that you feel would be really impacted by it.
It would bring a lot of value to them.
Well, hello there, ma'am.
Hello there, Papa.
You're 5 weeks postpartum.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know, like 5.5.
5.5 weeks.
So close to being able to work out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyone else, please let me know out there, like if anyone else was like so antsy to start to work out, because it is so, I said this to Micah, I was like, it is so, and obviously it's just the way that it is, but it's like, okay, you're going to go through this, really this like kind of traumatic thing for your body. One, that you're going to have to recover from. Your hormones are going to be all over the place.
Because of it.
And you're going to potentially be like feeling maybe the lowest at times that you've ever felt in your life.
For sure.
And also going to take away your ability to exercise.
Oh, don't forget sleep deprivation.
Yes, and you're going to be sleep deprived.
Yeah. You're not going to get a good night's sleep for at least a couple months.
The combination of things is...
It's really brutal.
It's ruthless.
Yeah, it really is.
And
it's kind of like a form of torture.
Yes.
And you're a little like, hello, God, just have a quick questions.
Couple questions.
Maybe a couple questions.
Yeah. Few questions. Because the not working out thing is like, that's what I need for my sanity.
Yeah. That's a brutal one. I know that like when I've been like struggling with my just like body pain, there was 1 year where I took a full year off from working out because I thought
I remember that.
it was going to just help. Like I needed to like ease
Rest.
up on and rest my joints and tendons because that's what you read and that's what you hear is like, well, the only way that you can really like heal is to not do anything.
Yes.
And so then I did that for a full year and it majorly affected my mentality. Majorly.
Yeah. For you, it was kind of after you'd done that for a while that you were like, oh, I think I'm being impacted mentally by not working out.
Yeah. It was a slow burn for sure. And so for you, it's like you go through this physically traumatic event and then hormonally they're just absolutely haywire. Yeah, emotions are a literal roller coaster.
Hey, what can I say?
We experienced that a couple times.
I want to make a comedic video about this because I actually think it's quite funny, but it is literally like from 1 minute to the next, I'm like, I'm never going to sleep again. What's happening? And then the next minute I'm like staring at Shelton like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Yeah. Wow. What a blessing. Which obviously it's always a blessing. I always feel that it's a blessing, but there are definitely moments where I'm like,
you're just like,
feel crazy.
I feel crazy. I'm not getting anything done because he's fussy and because he is just in need. Like such a tiny little thing that really demands your time and attention.
He needs everything.
And you're the only one that can give him that. Yeah. And so you go through issue. It was only like a couple days ago, probably, I think, when this happened, where she was crying because, it was just like, when will I ever get 7 hours of sleep
straight?
Again? When
like
will
7 hours straight.
Will that ever happen?
Yeah.
And then I think like an hour later, I was like holding him and he was just like, was he sleeping or was he just hanging out?
Yeah, he might have even been asleep.
And just came over and just like, my sweet, sweet boy.
Was that when I was sniffing him?
Yeah, he just comes over and just sniffs him a few times, just like, he's just so cute. Oh my gosh, he is such a blessing. I love him so much. Which is true. It's I
always love him so much.
Always love him. It's never. We were talking to our counselor.
Yeah.
About this kind of transition, and he said, he's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can do these two things at once. You can love this person and be so grateful, as well as kind of like mourn and be. I'm like about to say. I was like, it was on the cusp the whole time. I was like, can I make it through this statement? And I couldn't. By the way, Shelton's sneezes are the absolute cutest things in the world. Baby cutes.
And his little arms fly up.
Yeah, like a toy.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Those cats that do this.
Oh, yeah.
But it's always.
Yeah. And it's just like that little.
Yeah. But what he said was, you can be grateful and love somebody or some, so much.
Right.
And at the same time be, mourn maybe your past life or mourn.
Or like feel frustrated.
And feel yes, exactly. And feel frustrated.
Yeah.
Because you aren't getting the things done that you normally did, or you aren't as productive as you normally were.
Yeah.
And it's okay to feel both of those things. You don't have to feel guilty for feeling that way, because it's a very normal thing and a very human thing.
Yeah.
And, it's just the motto that we've lived by even before this, which is
it's only temporary.
Yeah, it's only temporary. This too shall pass. Like, for now.
Yeah.
Right. This is what this is what it's like for now, but it's not going to be always and forever.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, okay. Sorry that we're boring you.
I'm tired. There's something I was going to add to that. I cannot remember though. It's the other thing. I feel like I have a million things just like rattling around my brain at any given moment. And it's like, I don't know. It's hard to, my brain feels more chaotic these days than usual. Yeah,
it's been interesting to balance this, which we're very grateful for, our job as content creators, but especially our style of content. It's like we need like an hour or some time for ourselves to really put it together and edit and do all these things. And if he's having a day where he's just like not satisfied, if he is not in our arms or on the boob or eating.
Yeah, he's just maybe not napping good that day or whatever.
It really does make things difficult.
You can't get anything done.
Yeah. We've been playing around with having somebody come and like hiring a part-time nanny to just like watch him for a couple hours. But then
I had an emotional breakdown. Speaking of all over the place. Because it was like, oh yeah, that would be great. Then we could feel productive. And then like, the more and more I was thinking about it, the more I was like starting to feel anxious about the idea of a stranger watching my baby.
Yeah. More and more, we definitely feel the desire, or just like, I guess, feel the distance of not having family nearby.
Oh, like, yes, like you just feel it in general.
Yes, I guess feel it. We feel it more than ever now.
Absolutely.
To not have family nearby.
Yeah.
Because
if we did, I
think that's something that can be taken for granted if you live by your parents or family that can just like in-laws. Watch your kid whenever, and you don't pay them. And they just do it for free because you're your family. Oh my gosh, what a blessing!
Or even if you do pay them, still what a blessing to have someone that you trust, that you're that comfortable with. Watch your kid. I would pay my parents to watch our kid
100%
if I could.
I know, because Kansas and Wisconsin are
they're not
super
around the
close
corner
to New York, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Even though your mom, I was texting her parents. jokingly just being like, hey, if we paid you, would you watch Shelton from like 11 to 4 so that we can
Monday through Friday?
Yeah, Monday through Friday. And she thought I was like, bless her heart, she thought I was serious. And I mean, I was like half serious, but obviously like she can't do that. Like
right.
I was never going to expect them to do that. And she's like, okay. And she's like, wow, this might be, I'm going to have to talk to Bruce like, this might be hard on our relationship. I was like, oh my goodness.
I'm not sure how that would be for our marriage. I got to talk to him. I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, he's kidding.
I was like, what it would be terrible on your relationship.
Yeah, but what a sweet thing to say.
Oh, very sweet. You're just leaving your husband for
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
Because he was like, we need it for a year.
Yeah, for a full year.
Shout out. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you. Yeah, seriously.
For even responding back.
Very sweet.
Let me talk to Dad about it.
Considering it is very sweet. But we talk to, a lot of parents and a lot of young parents that, are past the newborn phase, and they just say that this is, it gets easier and gets better, especially when he sleeps through the night and when he sleeps more and is more content on his own. And
just more predictable.
Even now that we're about 5 weeks in, he still has his moments, but he's still, I think we're just like learning a little bit more on, like, he's sleeping a little bit better in his crib, and he's a little bit more content. And we've
to kind of hang
out.
Yeah.
And man, it really does make a difference.
It does.
If you're somebody who's pregnant or whatever, don't let this scare you at all. Like, we definitely like went into it just kind of, I think, a little arrogant and a little just like, not, I think ignorant.
I very much underestimated how, and I think we said this on our last episode.
Yeah.
But I think for me specifically, I underestimated my capacity that was going to exist to get other things done.
Yeah.
Or even the capacity I was going to have for other people. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have much else.
Yeah.
I don't to give outside of making sure that he is good, bonding with him, learning him, trying to kind of take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Remember
to shower.
Yeah. Brush my teeth.
Yeah.
To, have a little bit of time where we hug each other.
Yep. Yeah. I know.
And then do like the even the bare minimums of what we need to do for our business to keep our business running.
Right.
Because there's no real not like I get 4 months of maternity leave, which again, it's an amazing blessing. And I said this the other day that it's an amazing blessing that we're able to work for ourselves, and it's something that we've always wanted, and that's always been our goal. And don't get me wrong, but it does not allow for a span of time where it's just like, these months are just about me hanging out with my baby. Yeah, and then I go back to my job, 4 months from now or whatever it may be. And I'm not complaining. I was just realizing that the other day, because I was like, why do I feel so overwhelmed? And I was like, oh, it's because I'm trying to do a full-time business and take care of a newborn and kind of take care of myself and maintain a relationship with you. Mm-hmm. And with that, I have nothing left after that.
And I think, well, it's also what we're doing to ourselves, a lot of it.
Yeah.
We're just, we're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves.
That's true.
And like, that's something I think we've learned in this season, is just to have more grace with ourselves. And it's also been exposing kind of like our performance drivenness that we still kind of have in us.
Kind of. For sure.
Definitely do. Which is not, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's not an all bad thing. No. It just can become unhealthy when I think you put your identity.
If you feel like
your results.
If you feel like you're like, I'm a crap person because I didn't get all of this stuff done.
Right. Or like this day was a worthless day because I didn't achieve blank, 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 or I didn't accomplish the things that I wish I would have, or didn't make strides in some way. And that's, it's just not true.
Right.
It's just not true, especially if you have a son or a daughter, you're growing that person. You're doing something that is, arguably more important when it comes to accomplishment or when it comes to growth, is like you're growing this person and this human being and helping form them and feed them and keep them alive and all these things, help their cognitive development. And I think that's, it's definitely as important, if not more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I even when it's going to make me cry. I thought I was going to make it through this episode without crying. Goodness gracious. But even like I've tried to be very cognizant of like when Shelton is having a moment where he is content and he's just like hanging out, where instead of taking all those moments to be like, okay, now I'm just going to like hammer out some of my to-do list, or I'm going to be on my phone for this, that, and the other. I've tried to be like, no, I'm going to sit here and like make faces at my baby for an hour.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, especially now that he's becoming more expressive and he's like starting to smile and all of that.
Yeah.
It's like having that be like, I don't want to skip that.
Of course.
I don't want to miss out on that.
You don't want to look back and be like, wow, I wish I would have just taken more moments to appreciate that. And so is life, though. That's how life goes. But I think that's great. Like, and that's also, man, if like all the things that we talk about like this, and like if we just did everything all the time, we would become perfect. As humans, you know what I mean? Where it's like, we're always growing, and that needle always, like, you always need to like get reset. I think you get reset. I think a big reset for people is going to funerals and going to, or having a loved one pass, or even just having somebody pass, period, that kind of resets a little bit for certain people. I think the closer the person is, the bigger the reset of just like the appreciation of life and how it's not guaranteed, and how we should take each day and really moments with a little bit more gratitude and not taken for granted as much as we do. And then we do that for a span of time, and then we eventually, go towards our worldly desires.
Yep.
That we have in us, and that I think that's different for everybody. Everybody kind of has, I think, similar probably desires, but I think everybody has a different kind of hot button that is something that is just probably a lifelong pursuit to grow in, and just like continue to get better at. And so, but you're absolutely right. It's like, it can be very easy to just take moments where he's content, or when he's, to be like, okay, he's happy. Like, let's get as much done as we possibly can. As opposed to just enjoying that.
That's one of the biggest ways that I think God is refining me in this season. Is, I think it's been in every season for me. It has been like detaching more of my value from the results I'm creating in my life, or just from a to-do list, really.
Yeah.
And so to just be able to sit and hang out with him, it's not like we can have a conversation yet.
Yeah.
I can talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can have a one-sided conversation. We can have a conversation with,
Yeah. I know. He's starting to like semi-talk.
Yeah. Really babble.
Yeah. Just kind of babbling. That is so cute.
It's so precious. But yeah, just spending an hour doing that and not feeling like it was a waste of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
like you're wasting time.
Yeah. Is Like when I was doing that the other day, I think maybe you were working out. I don't know. We were here and you must have been at the gym. And I was just playing worship music and just like looking at him and making whatever faces he was making, I would just make him back. And whatever noises he would make, I would just make him back. And it's like, wow, I think in the past I would have been like, what a waste of time. And it's just like the best.
Yeah. So much for not crying.
I know. I think God also, well, parenthood in general has like taught me so much about more about unconditional love.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You just like love this little thing so much and
patience.
And patience. Yeah. When you think about every person was a little precious baby at some point, you know, and it's almost like when there's someone who's like irking you in your day or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. I've actually done this in the past, but been doing it more since having a baby. It's like, I think of that person's parents and how like precious that person is to their parents. Obviously, you know, whatever, not all parents are perfect or love their kids the way that they should, but it's like if I'm looking at someone who's bugging me and then I think of like how their parents would see them. I don't know, it changes my perspective and suddenly I'm like, oh, I don't really need to be annoyed. Like we're all like such special, precious people who are loved by our Creator. And so why is this person irking me? I don't know. It's just something that helps me not be annoyed with people.
Yeah.
I like try to think of them as like someone's son, someone's daughter. Because then I think about my own child and how I would want someone else to treat my child or how I would want them to think of my child. So I don't know. I'm babbling now. I just feel like God has been yeah. God has been opening my eyes to, I think having a kid has like just helped me see people just a little bit more like God sees people. You know, we'll never reach his level, of course.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that I've always prayed for, is like, help me see people and love people the way that you do. Knowing full well I'll never be able to do it as good as God, but I think becoming a mom is something that has helped me on that journey. You're
just like seeing this little thing that is forming and like growing, and I know that it's just gonna be there's gonna be just so many more stages to go through, you know, his first steps, or I mean rolling over, crawling, talking, saying first words, you know, and then so on. And this person is going to become a person of society and have values and beliefs and want to do something with his life.
Yeah.
And it is crazy to think that it's like, that's where everybody started. It's crazy to think about him being our age and being married and having kids. Like, what?
I know.
What?
Yeah. That's
crazy.
It is crazy.
But yeah, we're about to tackle our first thing with him, which is flying. That's gonna be fun. Even packing for that has been just like, what do we pack? Do we pack everything?
That's also why I think I have felt so crazy. It's because I'm like,
yeah, you've been going today.
Yeah,
thinking of what to pack. It's like, how many diapers do you pack? Do you just pack enough for the trip, and then do you buy a pack when you're there?
Because
he goes through like 7 or 8 diapers a day. So if we're going to be gone for 8 days, we're not going to pack like 40 diapers.
I packed 50.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I packed 50 diapers. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Diapers are tiny. They don't actually take up that much space. I literally packed, I put a bunch in the diaper bag, and then I counted and I was like, there's 20 diapers in here. There's 20 diapers in the diaper bag and 30 diapers in the carry-on bag. And they don't even really take up that much room.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I had no idea.
Yeah, I packed 50 diapers.
50 diapers.
Just in case.
It's crazy. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess you can do that.
Learn something new
But it's
every
like
day.
we did like that. It's baby monitor, some binkies. I mean, figuring out how to pump while you're traveling, like that's a whole new thing. Like how to keep the milk cool.
I think that's the thing that I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of winging it.
You know what you should do? I actually had this thought is write a note of all the things that you packed. And then on this trip, you're going to find out what you need or what you should have brought.
Yeah.
And maybe what you don't need as much. Yeah. And then you just, you add to that list so that the next time we go on a trip, you just have this list of like, okay, I need to pack this, and this.
I know. I made a written list because.
Yeah, but you should put in a note.
Yeah, I know.
What, like that, because the written one will probably be like thrown out.
I know.
Or something.
I'm just saying I like written lists for packing because I like to cross it off as I go, so I know what I have.
Sure. I think there are apps that are like that.
I hate things like that.
Got it.
It's not as satisfying, and it's like so much more work to be like, I have to go in, I have to highlight this, and then be like, put the cross through in there. I've done that in a note before, and I'm like, forget it. I need the paper. This is way too hard.
And there you have it. It's funny. We have this Post-it note that we always fill for the day that we're like, okay, these are the things that we want to get done for the day. And we just like, there is something satisfying of putting it on paper and then crossing it out as opposed to in a note. I wonder what that is. There's got to be a biological reason for that.
Just like, yeah. Just like
Neurologically.
the satisfaction of like, that is done. I accomplished that.
I think there's been studies on how like taking notes, pen to paper, you like cognitively, you remember things.
Absolutely.
What, 70% more or something like that?
I don't know what the percentage is, but I know that's true.
If you don't take notes?
Well, yeah, if you don't take notes at all. But even
But like typing, I think, as opposed to pen to paper, there's a difference. Maybe it's because it just takes longer. Yeah. You have to work your brain a little bit more. Uh-huh. I bet that's probably it.
Yeah, maybe.
I definitely know. I'm a scientist. I'm a biologist.
But yeah, about to fly with a newborn.
Yeah, so that would be fun.
I'm really excited to get that done for the first time and just be like, okay.
Oh, okay, that's how that goes.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
I know. Pray that he is a good flyer.
He has no other choice.
That's true.
He's going to have to learn to be a good flyer. If he's not naturally, we have
3 flights before this year even ends.
Yeah.
And one is international.
Yeah.
So... yeah, he's got to be a good flyer. And we plan to do a lot of travel next year. So
we have a long list of travel, for 2025.
Yep. So
we want to do.
He's gonna have more stamps on his passport in 1 year than I did in 30.
When's the first time that you left the country?
High school. You
went on a mission
Ecuador.
trip.
Yeah, I went on a mission trip to Ecuador in high school, and I think that was my first passport and first stamp on the passport. What about you?
I did not leave the country until I worked on the cruise ship.
Oh wow. After college.
Yeah, post college. It was 2013 because we had to get on the ship. The ship was in the shipyard in Germany because it was not done being constructed. So I flew to Germany, and that was my first time ever leaving the country.
How long is that? Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't remember.
What's the longest flight you've ever flown on?
Honestly, I don't know.
Mine's to Taiwan. My brother, who lives there and works there, I think there was a nonstop flight to Chicago back. It was a 16-hour flight.
Wow.
It's a long time to be on a plane.
I don't think I've ever been on a flight that's more than like 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
Like Iceland was actually only 5.5.
Mm-hmm. No, that was the longest I've ever. That was the longest. Most have been, I think, 6. Tops.
I wish I had any memory. I have no memory of flying to Germany. I wish I had some memory of that. I don't remember it at all. And I guess it was from Florida because we rehearsed in Florida and flew from there. So, wow. I'm like trying to rack my brain, and I'm like, no memory at all of that travel. Interesting how what our brains choose to keep in the forefront and what they release.
It's inside out.
yeah.
Straight up.
They like catapulted that one to the back.
They did. They got rid of that grayed out
I guess
memory.
I guess I don't need that one.
It wasn't important.
But yeah, this is a major season of learning and a season of, even just
major respect to parents now. Like we just didn't have it before because we didn't realize and we didn't know. We had no idea.
Didn't know.
And you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
It's, but it's such a blessing, and major props to the single parents out there. I just like, wow.
Yeah. You're superheroes.
You are literal
superheroes
for sure.
And also like God has really stretched my faith in general. Just with like simply, believing that he's got to keep him safe and healthy.
Right. Yep.
And those things.
Protect him.
Yeah.
Yep.
A friend of mine was talking about how it's kind of like, it's like a piece of you is outside of you now.
Well, yeah. For you especially.
I mean, yeah.
Literally, he was in you.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like, it's like a piece of your.
Oh.
No more crying.
Oh. I was like, what are you doing?
It's like it's like a piece of your heart. It's like out there.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm going to be such a wreck when he's like driving.
Oh boy.
And like doing stuff by himself. Yeah. Oh gosh. God, I'm going to need you to really like work on me over these next 18 years.
You mean like worried? You mean worry?
Not even worried. Just like, I don't know what the word would be, but I feel like you definitely need immense faith to know that like when you have a kid who's out there just doing stuff on their own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
I've never thought about it before because I've never had one.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, because you only, when it's just you, we all kind of have a feeling, even though, again, I'm very well aware that I'm not invincible, but you still kind of have a feeling of like, I'm not going to get hurt. I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to, until you experience something like that. So it's almost like you feel like you can control it, even though there's so much that you can't control, And so, but when it's someone else, you're like, well, I definitely can't control that.
Yeah.
So, and that's a piece of me that's over there walking around and doing stuff.
Yeah. And that's where faith comes in.
Yeah. It's just a wild experience.
It is, but it's great.
It is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I knew there would be things that we would learn that we would never learn if we didn't have a kid.
Yeah. Like that we can still function on like broken 3 hours of sleep. Semi-function.
You do pretty good. Thank you so much for Micah now I'm pumping more so we can give him bottles and kind of share the feeding responsibility, and Micah has been feeding him in the night, and I'll wake up and pump still, but I just appreciate that a lot. Of course. Babe. When I can get a little extra sleep, it makes a big difference for me, and I appreciate it. Well, when you're happy, I'm happy. Not that I'm codependent or anything. No. No, I think I saw some on Instagram where it's like biologically, like women need 7 to 8 hours of sleep as opposed to, I guess, men. I mean, I feel like I need 8 hours of sleep. Yeah. 8 to 9 hours of sleep. I guess it affects you more if you do not get your sleep, or don't get enough sleep. So, I mean, maybe also just in the period where your body's still kind of recovering from childbirth and pregnancy and all of that as well. Yeah, that's true. Man, your body really goes through it, and just like you throw the kitchen sink at it. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, recover all these parts, everything. Yeah. All at once. Yeah. Right now, as fast as possible. Yeah, like, okay, you're gonna grow an organ over 40 weeks, and then it's gonna rapidly come out, and all your hormones are gonna go ape crazy. So have fun. It is wild. Yeah. It is really wild. Fun stuff here. Well, but miraculous. You made it through another episode crying. I don't foresee many episodes where I don't cry these days. Yeah, we'd have to be real goofy. We'd have to keep it light and goof. Even that I might start crying. Yeah, that's true. Just out of joy. Out of gratitude. Why? All my crying in this was positive crying. Yeah, it was good. Hot rumph. Hot rumph. Yeah. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe and share this with somebody if
you feel like it would benefit
if there's
them.
something they could relate to.
Yeah.
Our whole goal with this is just to make people feel like they're not alone in what they're going through. And honestly helps us too. When people comment and relate to what we talk about, it's helpful for us.
Feel like we're not alone as well.
Yeah.
We always like to end our podcasts by saying goodbye. That was an interesting one.
That was an interesting one.
You look like you didn't know when you were about to sing.
That's me every time.
Yeah, it is. Every time I'm like, does she know we're about to do what we always do? And then it finally comes. Well, love you. Goodbye.
Love you.